G'day, this is Jim from Living Life Now. Today I'm coming to you from the Indian Ocean on the Crown Princess. In this video I'm just sharing with you what we learnt in our stopover in the port of Fremantle. So let's start with the location of the port and the attractions available to you in Fremantle before looking at your options for a transfer into Perth. Entrance to the port of Fremantle is pretty straightforward. Once the pilot is on board just outside Rottnest Island, the ship slows and begins its approach through Cage Roads, the shipping channel just off Fremantle. The ship passes between North Mole and South Mole, the twin arms of Fremantle Harbour. On the starboard side, you'll see Victoria Quay, Maritime Museum and Heritage Sheds. And on the port side is South Quay, handles the more commercial shipping and dotted with cranes. As the ship moves along the channel, you'll notice Cage Roads Brewery, quite a popular spot for a bevy, and you'll also notice the old hangars. Now they're kind of got a retro 90s, 60s feel. You'll also notice the city's quite flat and easily accessible. The Fremantle Cruise Passenger Terminal has the usual amenities and volunteers to help you with directions and to hand out maps. When you exit the terminal, there'll be taxis to your right, or you can walk straight ahead to a well-marked path into town. Now, it's important to note that it's about 800 metres before you can actually cross the railway line, and the path is not covered, so if it's raining or very sunny, take that into consideration. The Fremantle train station is in close proximity and takes about 30 minutes to get to Perth. And trains leave every 15 minutes during peak periods. The Fremantle line is a direct service, so no transfers are required to the city. The train line passes through North Fremantle, Cottesloe, Claremont, Subiaco, the City West before arriving at Perth Station. You have an option to take a ferry ride to Rottnest Island. Rottnest Island's about 25 to 30 minutes by ferry. It's about 18 kilometres. It's well worth getting over there to ride a push bike around the island, see the quokkas and the wildlife and the marine life. Definitely worth a visit if you have the time. Now I'll take you through what Linda and I did with our time in the port of Fremantle. Now, unfortunately, due to weather, our arrival was delayed till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the captain decided to stay there overnight, and we had to depart at 12 o'clock. And be back on the ship by 11 o'clock, which wasn't ideal as it split the day and removed some of the options to travel further afield. That said, we were definitely not disappointed with our time in Fremantle. The sail-in was beautiful. The whales were playing around the Rottnest Island area, so if you are travelling in that time of year, definitely get out onto your balcony and look for whale spotting on the way in. Linda and I got off the ship on sunrise and just decided to walk and explore. And it was a great option. We came across so many wonderful things. First of all, we just walked along Victoria Quay and took in the historic waterfront area. The old cargo sheds and there was cafes and the Maritime Museum. There were shipwrecks and submarines and steam museums. It was very, very interesting. And that was just along the waterfront before we got to the marina area. If you keep following the path along the waterfront, you end up at the Roundhouse. Now, the Roundhouse is the oldest public building in Western Australia. Its history is a fascinating window into the early days of European settlement. It was built between 1830 and 1831 and it's located on the Arthur Head, overlooking Bathurst Beach. Originally, it was a colonial jail and military prison. The architectural style has got 12 sides and it's a round design and hence the name, the Roundhouse. The building is constructed of limestone. It had 8 cells and a central courtyard and it imprisoned drunken sailors, local troublemakers, escaped convicts and unfortunately Aboriginal people under colonial law. Unfortunately, given the time, we didn't get to see inside, but it is very impressive just to view outside. Walking down from the Roundhouse, you arrive at Bathurst Beach. Bathurst Beach was originally known as Whalers Beach, but now Bathurst Beach is just a small, calm stretch of sand and the only beach sitting within a city centre in Western Australia. Many enjoy a glass of wine or a drink on sunset, where it's also good for swimming and beach picnics and just casual strolls. I tried to snuggle up with a local beauty, but she gave me the cold shoulder. And she made me feel like this poor bloke. So I thought, bugger it, I'll go and have a dance with Angus from AC/DC. So I continued to walk around the marina looking for locals I can engage with. But geez, the locals don't move a lot around here, and that could possibly explain why the seagulls have it all over them. Fremantle is home to two major craft brewing companies. That is Little Creatures, that is located down the marina, and Cage Road Brewing, that's located in Victoria Quay. Now, I can guarantee you Fremantle is not a place that you have to look too hard to find a beer. There is pubs, breweries, and establishments everywhere. As we walk through the streets of Fremantle, it has a really cool vibe. It just seems a little laid back. The sandstone buildings have been purposed for use, and you just get a feeling of history being well preserved and well utilised. Fremantle is well known as the centre for al fresco dining. There's fresh seafood, there's a variety of restaurants, and of course there's craft beer everywhere. Along the Cappuccino Strip, you'll find a wide variety of al fresco cafes and restaurants. We settled on a cafe called More and More that was tucked down the end of an alleyway, and the food was absolutely sensational, as was the coffee. Once we were refueled, we continued our wander, taking in the architecture and just the atmosphere of Fremantle. Luckily, it was too early for a lot of the shops to be open, but might have saved myself a quid. A couple of notable mentions was High Street. They had fashion from the local designers and homewares and galleries, Aboriginal crafts. But yeah, everywhere you looked, there was something to see. As we were wandering around town, we spotted the Fremantle Jail in the distance. It's only about a 10-minute walk from the centre of town, up just a small incline. Fremantle Prison, also known as Fremantle Gaol, is one of the most iconic and significant historical sites in Western Australia. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is part of the Australian Convict Sites. Many guided tours are available through the prison, and you'd be wise to take one. Unfortunately for us, we didn't have the time and we were too early. Although we did enjoy the grounds and the information that was made available to us for free. What I find remarkable about this prison was it was operating continuously as a prison for nearly 140 years, closing as recently as 1991. Female prisoners were also incarcerated here to 1970. Some interesting characters were incarcerated in this prison over its time, but not this little black duck. He only spent half an hour there. As you move around Fremantle, you'll notice many artworks and memorials and statues available for viewing. One that really took my eye was the Chimera. It's located in King Square, and it's got the head of a lion, the body of a goat, and the tail of a snake. Its inspiration was drawn from Greek mythology. The Chimera was symbolised unpredictable and dangerous, and often appearing as a challenge for heroes. Okay, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up and possibly subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time. Uru.